Hey there, happy Friday. It's Lisa from lisamw.com here with your political article for the day. So the question I'm looking at and the concept I'm really looking at is Donald Trump as a spiritual teacher. So let me give you a little bit of context around that. I have never been fond of Mr. Trump at all, and really did not take his running for the election seriously. And so when he got the nomination, I kind of got a ping like, something's afoot. And the more that he went along saying what I consider to be pretty outrageous things, the more I kept thinking, what is the universe doing here? Hello? And about 2 weeks, and I think I mentioned this in another video, about 2 weeks before the election, I just got this feeling like it was like a wave that came, and it was like he was going to win the election. He was going to win the election. However, that happened. And so when the returns came in that night, I knew what was going to happen. And the reason I knew was because collectively we had asked for a change. Because had Secretary Clinton got into that role, yes, certainly it would have been a big deal for a woman to be in that space. Oh my God, yes. And things would have continued status quo, significantly status quo. And so that's not what the consciousness was calling for. Consciousness was calling for, and you can even look at that with Bernie on one side. Bernie Sanders represented a very big change, and as did Donald Trump. And so you could really look at, like, people would say, well, they're the opposite on the spectrum. They're both catalysts and change bringers. And so when Donald Trump got that position, I thought, well, okay, strap in, here we go, because we're in for a ride. Because he is a change bringer. He's a catalyst. And sometimes when you're a catalyst, you can be a catalyst for or aligning with the light. You can be a catalyst aligning with the dark. For example, let's just take Hitler, right? Was a huge catalyst for humanity. And he aligned with the dark, with the Nazis. He started the Nazis, really. And so the way that Donald Trump is bringing that change is through aligning with the dark. So I picked a couple cards already. I haven't looked at them, so I don't know what they are. To kind of like jump off a little bit on Donald Trump as a spiritual teacher. Okay, so let's look at the first card. Let's just look at the energies of the cards. Okay, first card. The first card is exhaustion. And as I look at the picture, it's really an interesting picture. It's very confusing. There's a lot of chaos going on, which hopefully you guys can see that a little bit. There's a lot going on. So exhaustion, and when I tune into the energy of this, I think, oh my God, we are all going through exhaustion. He is too. As much as I do not care for him on a human level, he rused the day that he chose this. Because, what's that thing like? Is your biggest wish is also your greatest nightmare, right? And so if you look at it, here was somebody who could do whatever the hell he wanted to. He ran his business whatever way he wanted to with very little scrutiny. And now he's got the eyes of the entire world on his business, on his life, on his every breath. That's not really something anybody wants, I don't think. And so exhaustion for us, exhaustion for him. For better or worse, it's a pretty big burden he's chosen to carry. I honor him, I do, for being willing to do this. You're changing the whole course of humanity. That's a big job. Okay, let's look at the second card. Okay, breakthrough. Well, that's perfect. Okay, so breakthrough. And that's a really beautiful card. It's a very powerful card. Right? I'm not very good at this yet. Okay. He represents a breakthrough for us. And here's why. Okay. The first thing that I want to say about it is corruption has run rampant throughout political history from the beginning of time, because power and money are big deals. You got a lot of both, then you are just set. And it plays to ego, energy, it plays to all of that. And so if you think about the misuse of that power, right? Corruption, the misuse of that power has been given a veneer. That's not the word. Veneer. Been given a veneer. It looks pretty, right? So, you know, any politician can stand up there and say whatever because they look respectable, right? And so they are presenting a picture. And I'm not saying all politicians are corrupt. Many of them have maybe entered with really good intention, and somewhere along the line, shit got real. I don't know what happened. But anyway, we had a veneer, okay? So, you know, I love President Obama, but, you know, he put that face on things, and there's all kinds of crap going on underneath. Not him personally, I don't think so, but underneath the picture. So, you know, you can look at, like, he's trying to move the United States in one direction, and there's others underneath who are really stirring things up and making it difficult for him to move, right? So the veneer is gone. It is gone. It's been gone since the day Donald Trump said yes to that nomination, because he's not used to. He is not used to hiding his corruption, because in the business he comes from, they all do it. So he's not used to hiding it. He has no other way of being than to just be himself. I mean, he's no different than he ever presented himself to be. You gotta give the guy that. He's authentic to himself. And so he put a face on the corruption and on the hideousness that I'm sure we will see as we go along. He's laying it all out and said, here you go, look at it, look at it. So I don't care what you think, I don't care, whatever, right? That's his attitude, like, here it is, and so what are you gonna do about it, right? And so with especially for the children at the border, the people getting turned away, you can't not see that. You can't not see that. Even though the media may want to shuffle it under the rug, you can't not see that. And you can't have that hit you on some level as it being, that's not right. That's not the ideals the country was founded on. We're far off from those ideals, but that's not the ideal. And so you can look at that and it's very clear. And when he says things, it's very clear. Right? So he's being very clear in what his intention is, right? All of this is mine, I'm taking it, and too bad for you all, people that I don't like, right? So he has ripped off the mask of what's been going on, and bless him for that. Bless him for that. Again, big work, right? And he's doing nothing but just being himself. Okay, so the breakthrough comes when enough of us are willing to see this, away from partisan politics, away from whatever, just on a human level. When you see someone who is showing you, is it Maya Angelou who said, when someone tells you who they are, believe them, or when someone shows you, believe them, okay? He's asked nothing more of you than to believe he is who he is. So a breakthrough is happening because we're seeing it now where we were not before. It was so hidden and we didn't really impact us, and we just go on with our life. And so here we are having to look at all of this and really coming face to face with the horrors of, you know, are they trafficking the children that they've stolen at the border? They might be, right? What's going on here? It's all laid out if you are willing to see it. And again, I honor him for being nothing more than who he is, so that we could see with our eyes and our ears and our hearts what's going on. So the breakthrough, right? The breakthrough is there's no more veil. There's no more veil. We're seeing it. And the third card is, oh, this is a good one. Participation, right? So let's talk about participation in this realm. People who have never voted before, people who could give a rat's ass about politics because, you know, they're all the same, blah, 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 are awake now. And they see the impact of having someone in that position who does not have integrity. Again, we've had many of those along the way. Veneer, right? No veneer, no integrity, and we can't look away from that. So it requires our participation. Nobody's going to come and save us. God bless Robert Mueller, and he's going to do his work, but he is not going to ride in on a white horse. We have to do that. We have to do that work. So participation is the key, and that means being awake. That means being willing to see the things you don't want to see. That means opening your heart to those who may look different than you. You know, they were, there's so many videos out there now about people being harassed, people of color being harassed. And there's videos now of that, those interactions. And the thing is, you know, that's been going on forever. There's just cameras now to catch it. So you can think like, oh, what happened? Did this all get ratcheted up? Yes. And on a whole nother level, people of color will tell you it's been going on forever and ever and ever, forever. But we're seeing it, right? And we're seeing it so that we can heal it, so that we can say no more, never again, right? So, right, exhaustion, ours, his. How much more are we willing to take? How much more? But, ta-da, a breakthrough is entirely possible. It really is. It's not even far away. But it takes your, mine, all of us, all our participation to really make this shift. This is a collective shift. Look at it that way. And don't get caught up in, oh, my relative watches Fox News. I got one of those. And see the humanity of that person. See the fear. That's really what's been getting turned up. Fear of others. Fear of getting killed on the street. Fear of whatever. That's what's getting ratcheted up. And fear is such a primal feeling that it causes you to do things that you might not ordinarily do. And so when you have someone telling you, look at your brother, in terms of humanity, look at your brother, your sister, they're different, right? They're not as good as you. What? Really? And so look at that person as a human. You know, I love my aunt to death. I honor her, I love her, I disagree with her on every possible level. But I'm not about to write her off entirely as a person because that's her belief, because you know what? I know she's scared, and I know that that's being fed to her on a daily basis. So my work as a political oracle, as I really come to see, is to help people understand the bigger picture. You know, some days I read Twitter and it's like, oh my God, we are going to hell so fast, like on board USS Enterprise, we're going. And it is kind of disillusioning. But I want to give you hope, because participation is the key. Speak up. Speak up. Your voice counts. Your heart counts. If what you can do is show kindness to someone else, I hold the door open for men all the time. Because they're expected to do it for women, right? That's what they're expected to do. Why? Well, I'm not saying not do nice things, but I'm saying I hold it open for them because we are equal. I am a person, you're a person. I hold the door open for you. I don't care, right? So I really make it a practice. I try to hold the door open every opportunity I can. And that's kind of my way of putting kindness out into the world. So if you're dismayed about stuff like I get dismayed about it, and I see some of the bigger picture. So if you don't, like, I can understand that it would really feel that way. Understand that Donald Trump is our teacher. Honor him for being a teacher. don't have to honor him for aligning with the dark side, except that they're showing you their hand clear as day. You cannot miss it. So honor him as the teacher that he is, because you know what? It is taking a huge toll on him. It's taking a toll on everybody who has chosen, soul level, conscious level, whatever, to be in that space with him and to pull back the curtain of confusion and lies so that we can see it with clarity. And then we know how to participate. So exhaustion, what's the middle one? Exhaustion, breakthrough, participation. Those were perfect cards, weren't they? Holy cow. And I picked them while I was in the middle of doing a different oracle reading with a group of women. And I knew, like I didn't want to look at them because I knew they'd be exactly right because I was in that exact space to tune into the energies. So take heart, participate, honor Donald Trump as our spiritual teacher for this part of the journey. And hope that we get the lesson as soon as we can. And that we change things so that this doesn't happen again, at least not for a very long time, not until whenever we're ready for the next lesson. So this is Lisa, your political oracle. I look forward to talking to you again. Bye for now.